Well, if it would, even the scales, I can tell you about the time I created a cartel at my school. Not a real one, but, well, they called themselves cartels, but... And I don't think this is doxing too much. I don't think so. Nah. Lots of schools have cartels if you think about it. So my parents would always give me 4 tiny squares of chocolate, right? In my lunchbox. Now, this Joe, he leans over and he's like, oh, you've got chocolate? Can I have some chocolate? I'm like, no, I'm not giving you my chocolate. I'm fucking 12 or whatever. I want to keep this shit for myself. Fuck you, go die in a hole. Chocolate is like the only thing that makes a 12-year-old's life worth living. And he's like, I'll give you $4 for 2 pieces of chocolate. $4 for 2 pieces of chocolate. A bar of chocolate, like a full king-size bar of chocolate is like $5 or something. He's paying for about 1/50th, and he's paying pretty much the same cost. Now I'm a little fucking capitalist, so I go, of course, my dear friend, here, have 2 pieces of chocolate, and I'll take those $4 now, please. And of course I take the $4. This happens every day. I get 4 pieces of chocolate, I give 2 of them to him for $4. I'm making bank, and now I pass a dairy on the way home from school every day. So this is when the cogs start turning. I'm very proud of myself. I buy a thing of Hubba Bub chewing gum, or bubble gum, right? 5 pieces for $2. I sell 1 piece to him for $2. I make 400% profit. I start doing this with more stuff. I'll buy little bags of candy, I'll buy those little pick and mix candies, chuck them all in, right? I'm making bank at this point, and some other kids see. You know, they see me in the fucking playground, passing him, 2 fucking fruit candies, and being given $5. And they go, God, I wish that was me. But of course, I've already got the candy market on lock. So, and here's a thing. In New Zealand, we have this, cordial powder called Raro. You put a bag of it in water, mix it up, and it makes it a juice-flavored thing, right? And now we're all fucking, 12, 14, 13, 14, I forget. We're little fucking babies, and we love sweet shit. So these kids start bringing packets of Raro, and they start measuring them out in little, I'll give you 10 mils of Raro for $5 or whatever. This spreads more and more. We're getting like an entire caste system built up. There are the people who sell, there are the people who buy. People start walking around saying, you don't use the product, etc. They're going full ham and cosplaying this shit. I'm happy to stay just, exploiting one guy rather than the whole school. Also, at this point, 2 separate cartels, and they call themselves cartels, pop up. And they each sell Raro at slightly different prices, but in slightly different sizes, and it's a whole thing, and there's school-wide talks of which cartel is better, and, they organize into groups. They're like, alright, we've got the suppliers who will give it to the sellers, and the sellers will sell it, and then we'll split the profit this way exactly. They start, devising whole formula for how they split the profit between their, 20-man crew. Some funny shit starts happening. People are like, well, I've got this powder, I may as well treat it like it's fucking cocaine or whatever. Multiple times after lunch, a kid will walk in, they'll have Raro powder around their nose, their mouth will be, their eyes will be watering, they will be grimacing in pain, because it sucks to snort Raro. It hurts, it's not sweet. It's a net negative event, and they still do it for the bit. Kids start just pulling out packets of Raro in class, munching on them. Eventually, we get a ban, school-wide, no Raro comes to or from school. We managed to ban an entire fucking, brand from the school. Does this stop people? Does this stop people? Teachers start doing bag checks to check if people have Raro in them. Kids start getting paid to be the fucking drug mules. The cartel will give them a bag of, you know, like 10 Raro packets to hide at the bottom of their bag, that then goes at the bottom of the pile of bags that the teachers check through. And because the drug mules are, you know, the nice, upstanding, straight A students, the teachers aren't gonna bother checking them. And they make a pretty penny out of it. The cartels decide they want to start fighting. We've got, it's you know, it's a private school, so there's this massive, a massive football field, right? Or rugby field, rather. And they want to start fighting, but if they just, you know, start punching each other, the teachers are gonna go, "Oi, stop that." So what do? One guy holds the rugby ball, while the others just get in a huddle and start beating each other up, so that if a teacher walks past, they can just go, "No, no, sir. We're playing rugby, don't worry about it," whilst, you know, they're kicking the shit out of each other. Kids, like, they're, you know, real small, tiny children, so you'd think that the combat wouldn't be, you know, anything. Kids are turning up to class, like, bloody, like, eyes puffy, and, like, you know, bleeding noses, etc. It's great. It's amazing. I'm living for this shit. That's really kind of all of it. But, in a sense, I did cause this. So yeah, I set up an entire, like, illegal drug ring. Because Raro became illegal at school and still kept going. It was great. Yeah. So that's how I, accidentally set up a cartel war at my old school. It's very roundabout. I also, this Joe guy was a fucking chump. I feel, by the way, I feel no qualms about exploiting him. He was, not a very nice person. But he gave me a lot of money, so I was of course friendly with him. But, I started, it was around this time that I learned how to pirate video games. Now this guy was like, "Oh, I want to play some," you know, he'd look over in class and see me just playing a video game. No one paid attention. It was year 7. No one cared about class. At one point, we had a kid who, who helped out with the school's IT, because, you know, they're all fucking incompetent, so they need a 14-year-old to sort out their fucking electronics for them. So he had access to all of the firewalls and shit that blocked games and servers and stuff. He set up on the school's, like, official, like, computers and shit. He set up a Minecraft server that he, like, hid from the school, and that he bypassed the firewall with, so that our entire year would just be sitting in class, playing Minecraft, while our teacher was talking about, I don't know, language theory, or, maths or something. I did not learn a single thing that year, and it doesn't fucking matter because, you know, year 7. But he'd look over, he'd see me playing, you know, fun games. He'd go, "Oh, I wish I could play that, but it's too much money." And I'm like, "My guy, you've given me several $100s in total over this year, and spending $40 on a video game is too much for you? But alright, that's fine. Don't worry. I'll strike a bargain with you. I can get you a copy of this game for $5. And so I sold him free, pirated, cracked video games for $5. I set up an entire, actually at one point I set up an entire wheel with, like, games that he like half of it was games he liked and half of it were games I liked, and he could pay, I think it was like $3 to pretty much do a gacha roll to see which game he'd get, and then I'd give that one to him, and so it was cheaper, but he might get a game he didn't want. I was playing slots, I was playing the Cartel, I was doing everything.